How to understand your repressed emotions? Well, this is an interesting question, and I do have to admit it may be a tricky one for a lot of people. Now, what I want to say is see, a lot of people have been having this problem, and the idea of repressing your emotions, well, it is a wet dream of a narcissistic society or a sick society in general, because when you repress your emotions, you are literally distancing yourself from what you are. Because you've been taught that emotions are a bad thing. You need to live life in a very overly simplistic version. Because once you repress your emotions, it's like you're killing a part of yourself, right? You're giving up a part of yourself because what you are, you're an accumulation of other people's emotions, other people's opinions, thoughts, and the such. Your mind is like an empty hard drive when you are born, and it is filled with other people's ideas, misaccomplishments, misery, and the such. As time goes, well, you're gonna be more and more of those. That is why ask yourself in life one question: who were you before society and everyone in general told you and, well, acclimated your awareness, your thinking, your opinions, and your emotions to their own misery, right? And they started telling you how you should be instead. When you repress your emotions, see, I see it something like this. When you repress your emotions, you're literally closing them in a certain, let's say, cave or, let's say, container, right? A part of you where they simply are contained. That is why some diseases may appear because when you contain a lot of pain, well, pain can only create more pain, right? Some people end up with unexpected illnesses in the body because what does disease mean? Well, disease is a play of words. It's basically not a play of words, it's basically the opposite of ease, right? When you're at ease, everything is good. What is the opposite of ease? Well, being at dis-ease, right? So that is why in English it was called dis-ease, because you're at dis-ease, right? A disease is something that causes uncomfort, causes you to be not at ease, right? So the opposite obviously is dis-ease. So the point about this, whenever you suppress your emotions, you're simply denying your guidance system. A narcissistic world won't want you to embrace your guidance system because your emotions are very rarely wrong. Your mind functions based on what you have accumulated from others. And my question is, when is it the last time that you actually heard the truth spoken from this society? And well, probably not necessarily when's the last time. Like, how often do you hear the truth from this sick society, right? Especially since it's proving more and more that it wants and it still is obsessed with treating humans less or even worse than cattle. So to the topic we go. When you oppress your, let's say, repress your emotions, when you repress them, it means you don't allow them to fulfill themselves, right? Their purpose is to present you the outcome of something. You are forced to do something that you don't like. Well, obviously, you're gonna feel bad, right? If you repress those emotions, they're not allowed to simply go away, right? They're not allowed to manifest, so they're not allowed to break free from you, or at least remove some of the energy that has been gathering. Because your emotions are like a volcano, right? You can even feel, especially when you're angry, you feel that it's boiling up. So you need to go angry on others. And, when you go angry, well, you simply let loose some steam, right? And, people call it like blowing your stack, letting loose some steam. There are other expressions. I don't have all of them, but okay. So the very simple point is this. As things go on and on, the more you repress things, those energies there, it's like you're creating a little zombie which is going bigger and bigger, right? You're creating a life form within you that is created and represents the whole pains that you have. It is existing there. It doesn't have an awareness or the such. But the more life force you put into it, because your energy is basically life force, which you convert into that emotion. When you repress that emotion, you don't allow it to become free, right? And that pain being is going to bother you more and more, and it's going to become stronger and stronger the more energy you simply suppress, because it's like suppressing the energy of a volcano, right? The lava will outburst one day or another, and hence you see all those people ending up on TV that they have killed people, they have committed whatever atrocious deeds, and everyone around them was saying like, yeah, but they were very calm and such. Well, an oppressed volcano is always going to be dormant and calm, well, until the forces within, well, prove stronger than that which is sealing it, right? If you seal a volcano, make sure the seal is strong. But even if the seal is strong, the lava may erupt through a completely different place. So when you're creating this entity of pain within you, obviously it will want to break free, because what your unfulfilled desires are, they're basically the same thing, well, almost the same thing mechanically speaking, as your oppressed emotions. They are energies that haven't reached any sense of fulfillment. To a certain extent, they're exactly the same thing as humans in a sick society, because they are also energy that has not reached any sign of fulfillment. Because you look at people, they all look like walking zombies, they all look dead inside, because they haven't reached any greater fulfillment in life. All they felt was the little happiness that they get when they purchase a few things, when they accomplish something more or less irrelevant, when they accomplish the little mundane things. But feeling great happiness within you, not because of someone else or some external force, well, that is something that a lot of people can't fathom. If it happens to other people that you reach that thing, well, you're definitely gonna want to invest so much more energy into that, and you'll become meditative by nature. And you will learn in time that you have to simply distance yourself from your mind, because your mind is an engine of creation. Given this society is only offering you misery, pain, fear, and the such, the more you feed your mind with that, the more it will create, right? It is like a soil with endless potential. All the thoughts that you have, all the opinions that you have in your mind, they are simply gonna grow through the fertility of your mind. Your mind will never run out of fertility, even if you don't make much use of it. It's still gonna be fertile. When you distance yourself from the mind, it's a different thing. It's still gonna do its own things because, well, the mind can never be silenced or stopped. But the more meditative you become, the more distance you learn to be from your mind. And therefore, the more distance you tend to become from your mind, this will also mean one thing: the mind will have less and less influence on you, right? So, unfulfilled desires, well, when you don't fulfill those things, those energies will seek to be cleansed. They will seek to become one with creation again, because unfulfilled desire is pain, right? Just like your thoughts, your dreams that you're postponing so that you please other people, right? They are just pains. And they will keep bothering you. They will keep cuddling you with misery. Because it's their way of telling you that, well, if you don't let them free, their misery will simply overwhelm you. So when you look at unfulfilled desires, the reason why you're dreaming in most situations is because your mind is cleansing itself of the unfulfilled desires that you have been accumulating. All thoughts that you have been thinking and overthinking about throughout the day, they're basically unfulfilled desires, because it's just thought, there is no action behind that, right? So in a way, it is a kind of disappointment, but you're not aware of that because you're still stuck in certain layers of ignorance. So you're gonna have some dreams because the mind is cleansing itself of its unfulfilled thoughts, unfulfilled desires. The same thing can happen when your spirit, or whatever you call it, is simply releasing some of the things, right? What happens when you cry for the first time after a long while? Well, you're gonna feel like shit probably, but after it's done, you will see after a while, after you cried, depending on certain factors, you will see so much more released because, well, as I've been saying, the tears are embodiments of illnesses and the such that you simply let out of your body. It is very painful to cry, maybe, but that's the narcissistic society teaching you. Crying is a true sign of strength because you're not afraid of showing your true emotions. So the more you inhibit parts of yourself, it's like you're killing yourself slowly, and not in game, this time in reality. So, with these being said, you're appreciated, take care, enjoy life, and feel free to watch any other content on the channel. Take care, and these being said, Ferencan Board signing out.